We're talking about working out, which may be the last thing on your mind during this holiday season. But if rock hard abs are on your wish list, and they certainly are on mine, well, it's never too late to get started. In fact, I'm getting started right now. Check us out. We are on the stability balls. I am with Joe Stankowski. Mighty Joe, tell us what this is all about. I'm working pretty hard right now.
It's a ball. I mean, right now we are working. We're actively seated. So instead of sitting in a chair where you have arms and a back and it kind of supports you, you just get to slump into it. You have to actively sit when you're on something that's round and dynamic and that moves. And the thing that really sold me on the value of a stability ball years ago was I had a client when I always liked to pump iron. It was always about training like a powerlifter, training like a bodybuilder. This is an older guy and he just didn't like that. So I brought a ball into his home once. He just kind of sits and starts bouncing around. And he's sitting and saying, I'm having fun. And just by sitting, he was having fun. So I saw the value of the tool.
Distracts you a little bit from the fact that you're actually exercising.
Exactly. It's a toy. It's just a fun thing to play with. And this actually started out as toys back in the 50s, and now we're using them in fitness now.
But the thing about these is that they can be a little bit intimidating for somebody who's never used them. How do you know which is the right size? I mean, let's take a look at these two. We are looking at two different sizes right here. How do I know that this is right versus this is wrong?
The general rule of thumb you'll hear if you read any of the boxes is they'll say get a ball that fits you so when you sit on it, your hips and your knees are at about 90 degrees.
Okay.
So this right here is a 75 centimeter ball, and that's a 65.
So
we might call it medium and large.
Right here.
It's a good size for a general rule.
Okay.
But just like dumbbells, you go from a 5-pound to a 10-pound to a 20-pound, and there's a level of progression. Same thing with the ball. Depending on what exercise we're doing, a bigger ball or a smaller ball might make an exercise tougher. So as a general rule of thumb, if you have room for one ball in your home, just get one that fits you at about 90 degrees at your hips and knees.
Okay.
But if you have room for several, get them all.
Now these guys are helpful. Most of us think about them just as exercise things, but I got yelled at by Joe Stankowski. Mighty Joe said, hey, that is not true. We can use them for a whole bunch of other things.
Everybody does. They use them for crunches. And everybody that I see in gyms, they'll take a ball, they'll lock their feet in underneath something really solid, which just completely kills the function of a ball being something unstable.
Yeah.
So if you want to challenge your instability, don't lock your feet into something unless you really need to.
So what else can we do with these?
Right now, just being seated as we are, we can take this basic position like we would a bench in a gym, like a utility bench, where you could do a shoulder press or side raises or curls, but make it more unstable. So rather than go heavier with your weights, you can bring your feet in narrower. So I'm not a tripod anymore. I don't have this nice solid base.
Right.
We go narrower. And once that's easy, we go single leg.
I don't think I can do that in heels.
You see, single leg is easy, right? You could try no legs, but I wouldn't recommend that too. Just kind of hovering. If you have that skill, it'll be really cool. You could use the ball just like a bench too. So roll out of the way a little bit here if I could, and just rolling down into a bench position. So anything you can do on a bench press sort of thing, flies, presses, pullovers, anything like that. We've got a very versatile prop, and they make lots of funny noises.
You've turned it around before too. Yeah, they do make funny noises. Which is,
it wasn't me.
It was the ball. We promise.
So we could use this face down as well. So doing push-ups with our hands on the ball. So it becomes a very unstable sort of implement
here. And this just gives you a completely different workout here.
Absolutely. I mean, so you're working all those push-up muscles that you would, your chest, your triceps, your shoulders, but you're also working all those core muscles too, because you have to stabilize yourself somehow. You don't want to fall over. That's why these things have been used in studies with kids in schools, and they learn more because they have to actually pay attention to what they're doing.
I've seen that before.
And same thing when you're training. You have to really get that function working.
Now, for somebody who's not used to this ball, can they wedge it between a wall or something like that, just to kind of get a hang of it?
Progression and regression always, absolutely. You could have like a training partner hold it and give you a little extra stability if you need to, or you could deflate the ball slightly, or you could put it on a big shag carpet if you're stuck in a house from the 70s. Something that gives you a bit more grab so it doesn't move as fast.
Okay,
it's all progression and regression.
Lots of fun stuff to do with this, and we've got to fit into those New Year's gowns. What's your best tip for rock hard abs with this guy?
Is don't do ab training directly. You have to do other exercises that will help you burn more energy and build more muscle. Training your abs is like just stepping on a gas pedal and expecting to suck the 13th gallon of gas out of your fuel tank. You can't do that. We can't spot reduce. We just need to be able to work your entire body. And training abs using a ball and using deadlifts and squats and exercise like that makes you stronger to do all the bigger exercises that you need to do.
And how much do these run generally?
$15 to maybe $30 or so. They call them yoga balls, fit balls, exercise balls, all kinds of names. This one's called Opti Ball because it's sort of clear.
Okay. Lots of good advice. Thanks so much, Joe.
Sure thing.
Certainly a good investment right there.